Hello there, this is Critical from Critical Media, just taking a look at the 2021 Deluxe Hardcover release of Something is Killing the Children, Book 1. This is an action horror that comes to us from James Tynion, Werther, Dell'Edera, and Michael Muerto. And what we usually do at this channel is just give you an idea of what to expect if you ever come across this book in the wild. So we go over the exterior, some bonus material, art and plot points, and a brief review at the end. Now, it should be known that, yes, of course, this did come out in trades with 5 issues at a time. This collects 15 issues, the entire Archer's Peak arc, as they call it. And there's also a slipcase version of it, which they do charge extra. Let's put it this way, they charge $25 more when other slipcases, for instance, there's a reason why I have these here, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Nemo trilogy, and one of my favorite mangas ever, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, from the Grandmaster himself, Miyazaki. Both of these books, when you buy them on their own versus buying them with a slipcase, it's honestly a $4 difference. So you can kind of see where I'm going with that. But at least back to the original release here, because I'm more of a fan of content. I'm all about the book. In terms of the exterior, we have a lovely printing from Boom Studios. They did an excellent job here. Very well used art from Werther. It is embossed, so it is raised, if you can see the black area versus the woods there. And it's kind of faint, but the House of Slaughter smile is also embossed on it. Love that. As on the back, the embossed dragon for the House of Slaughter. So once again, definitely appreciated. And for whatever reason, this flat spine, it's for some reason growing on me. I have no idea why, but it's triggering my OCD. And in terms of the eye, once again, proof of that Boom Studios knew what they were doing with this release, at least. Maybe not so much the production of it, but definitely the overall product itself. What a lovely eye, which will come into very much an important factor because there are a lot of pages that require that gutter. Definitely another reason why I love hardcovers over trades. And I was always curious because they called it the deluxe edition, so I wanted to see how it fared up against other deluxes. So I just have a DC deluxe here. And as you can see, Boom Studios, it's slightly bigger than your DC deluxe edition, which is, by the way, DC deluxe editions and omnibuses tend to have similar dimensions. So I'm actually surprised that this is bigger. I had to go through my library quite a bit to find anything that was even close to it, and this Street Fighter Goki book, sorry, Akuma, I can't help but call him Goki. It's probably the only book I have where it's the same, at least height, but the width is a little bit different. But hey, a little bonus material there for you. Now, at least back to this release. In terms of the bonus material, we do get a brief interview, and what I like about it is that at least they included the, sketch work and concept art you usually get when you read a book like this, or usually when you buy a collection like this. What I do appreciate about the interview, though, is it actually includes all 3 parties. So it has Muerto, it has Dell'Edera, and it also has Tynion. So I definitely appreciate the perspectives. And as you can see, yep, you're getting that concept art and sketch work. It's a good job there. Now, in terms of the art and plot points, and to put you in the right place, this story is very similar, or should I say has a similar vibe to that show Stranger Things. But thankfully it doesn't focus too much on the kids, but in terms of, the use of language like profanity, the horror and bloody aspect, the action aspect of it, very similar in this light. Now, at least in terms of where we start off, as the name suggests, unfortunately, children have been disappearing in this town, Archer's Peak. That's where this arc gets its name from, the town. And, of course, we're given a vehicle character in the name of James. Yes, it's so clear and obvious that it's James Tynion himself who put himself in this story. Because not only is the character, looking like James Tynion, but he actually has a lot of similar character traits. The way he talks is very similar to some of his interviews. And even, let's just put it this way, the personality is very similar. But I wanted to highlight this particular page here because This is a great way to get an idea of, the moreover dialogue-driven storytelling, and then, of course, the kinetics that you'll eventually see in this book. So, love that aspect. You're also given the Knight character, as you can see. Her name's Erica Slaughter. At least that's how far much we know of her name. And in that light, she is the Byronic hero. She actually reminds me a lot of Guts from Berserk. She doesn't ask for credit. She's about doing the right thing because it's the right thing, not for rewards, not because it's considered by popular demand the right thing. She just wants to do it. Probably the only other character I would say comes out quite much of an important character is this character here, Tommy Mahoney, the gentleman in the Letterman jacket. And I also wanted to highlight this page because this is a perfect example of why that excellent binding, that eye and that fabric felt, comes into play. Because I don't know how you would have gotten this properly with the trade. So as you can see, the storytelling is actually more across the two pages. And there's a lot of times where, yes, you'll see get a panel like this where it's actually in between. Where, sometimes you get two-page spreads where it's both. But this one actually has multiple panels, which are kind of oblong. So very appreciative that this deluxe hardcover, Boom Studios knew what they were doing, and they released it perfectly, I would say. And not to mention, this page is a perfect example of the medium of comic books, or should I say graphic novels even. Because sure, you could just read the dialogue and take that for what it is. But if you're paying attention, there is something happening as you look. So I definitely appreciate that kind of attention to detail. But throughout the story, you get lovely colors here from Werther. And yes, some kinetics yet again. I just wanted to highlight probably another page here. As you can see, it has that nice motif. Makes sense though, because she's holding one of those glow sticks. But all in all, this is definitely a riveting tale. It's not so much scary, but it is definitely graphic, that's for sure. I would say it's much more of a suspenseful action, more so than a horror. I will admit there's one part of the story, though, where I wanted this little girl to get away so badly, and how about you guys read it and find out what happens? Let's just put it that way. But very on point, like excellent medium, excellent use of the medium, and on top of everything, like it's a very well-rounded package. There are known delays with the release of this book. There's actually already a second printing, so the first printing's already done. The second printing's coming out in January, and they're pretty much claiming that it's going to have more of a purplish hue to it and purple foil. So take that for what you will. But this is all in all an excellent use of this medium. I know I keep saying it, but it's just so surprising that a great story like this comes out of the blue. Boom Studios also does stories like The Abbot and The Many Lives of Layla Starr. Loved both of those. So I'm definitely looking forward to Volume 2 of this. The series is actually still ongoing, issue by issue, but hey, maybe we'll do a video about that in the near future. But hey, this isn't about me, and yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I do have quite a few books. Some folks have been wondering, where do I keep finding these books here? I have quite a big library. I call it a library because, yes, I do read them a lot. But hey, you mention a book that you might see in these corners here, I don't mind doing it, or even just asking in the comments below. Nonetheless, y'all folks take care and enjoy the rest of your day.